All right, hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. This is Rob at Smirking Gun Reviews. Tonight we're going to be talking about a little zombie movie I found on Amazon Prime. It's called The Night Eats the World, and I gotta say, I liked it quite a bit. Well, there's not really much left to be done with the whole zombie thing. The Walking Dead has pretty much done what you need to do for a survival horror show, and we've had just every kind of thing under the sun. Weird stuff, basic stuff. But this is kind of a nice little intimate story about what would it be like to just be on your own in the zombie apocalypse. Kind of think of it like, what if Rick Grimes never left the hospital? And it's pretty much just like a one-man show here. I mean, the zombie, he has like this guy has a zombie that he keeps in an elevator. And it's just him kind of slowly going crazy. How do you manage to survive? And at first I kind of thought that this movie was going to be playing a little trick on me because I didn't quite understand the beginning. The beginning being that he's at this party. And let's just say Anders Danielsen Lie. I've never heard of him. He's phenomenal in this movie. He's at a party at his ex-girlfriend's house. He comes to get some tapes that she had. He falls asleep in a locked room at the party. Now here's the only part that bugged me, was that all hell breaks loose outside of this room. Okay? The entire place, after the fact, like when he wakes up in the morning and opens up this door, everybody, there's no bodies, but there's just blood everywhere. And I'm like, how did he sleep through that? I'm sorry, but a bunch of people being murdered and killed by zombies in the next room, let alone the streets of France, because that's where this takes place. Thankfully, it was all in English. I don't care. And not dubbed either. I just don't understand how he was able to sleep through that. I just don't. I mean, I know people can sleep like the dead. No pun intended here, but when a bunch of people are getting murdered, you should know, is what I'm saying. Other than that, him figuring out the apartment complex and how to survive in this one kind of island apartment building where nobody can get at him is pretty cool and pretty unique. And like I said, he ends up sealing off some places where there's danger, creating ways to get around the place, getting a whole system built up. And then, like I said, he finds there's a zombie in the elevator that he kind of keeps locked in there as a companion, somebody to talk to as he starts to, as the days go on and on and on and on. And all the different ways that, you can go stir crazy and need food and ways to keep your mind occupied so you don't go crazy. And then, and I'm going to get into spoilers here, so if you haven't seen it, definitely see it. If you have Amazon Prime, it's on there for free. Otherwise, check it out. Go find it. Because I'm about to get into some spoiler territory here. So, what I really like here is as, he goes on, how he notices that they've gone away. That after a while, the zombies have moved on. And that actually drives him even more crazy. Being alone for that long, knowing everybody else is probably dead, not seeing another living person in over 40 days. When he goes out in it and nothing attacks him, it's pretty crazy, and he almost loses it there. There's also some pretty tense situations too in here. I also like that the zombies don't make noise. Well, really, there's just kind of this weird mouth noise. Just there's no words coming out. There's no not really. Most of it's just really quiet, and that can be even creepy too. But he has dreams in here where you think he thinks they're coming after him, and hallucinations and things like that happen in here. But then he gets to this part where he hears somebody in the apartment. He keeps hearing footsteps. And eventually, in the middle of the night, just like in his dream, he hears somebody really charging around the house. And gets out his shotgun. And unlike in his dream, the shotgun works this time. And he shoots through the door, hitting somebody that was actually alive. Now, I kind of was annoyed at that person for kind of storming around and not being quiet. But I guess if you thought you were by yourself, you know, how much noise would you be, you know, even know that you're really making? And so I kind of had to forgive it, but he shoots her. And then they go into this whole thing where him and her are kind of, after he saves her life, after shooting her, you know, they kind of start to form a little bit of a bond. And then she tries to convince him that he needs to leave. He needs to try to jump from where they are to other places. Otherwise, you know, you're going to go crazy here, and you need to try to at least try to find other people. I love that building that he's in. But then you find out, after he doesn't agree with her, he kind of realizes that she wasn't saved and that he's been hallucinating her since he shot her, and that she did die. The interesting thing is that she died from a shotgun wound, so I was wondering why she didn't come back as a zombie. Is it because that whatever it was ran its course, or do the rules somehow apply differently here? I don't know. But he ends up like saying, you know, he realizes at this point, when he realizes he's been hallucinating her, that he does need to leave. And he even lets out the zombie from the elevator, who it doesn't eat him. And then he ends up locking it in the zombie's old apartment when he was alive. And then he lights up all his cassette tapes on fire, kind of giving him like a no way out, like, hey, I'm burning everything down, there's no reason to stay here, blah, blah, blah. But the smoke sets off a fire alarm, which brings all of them down on him. And this was one of the more intense sequences of any zombie movie. I was really fucking freaking out a little bit here in this last 15 minutes of the movie. Him trying to escape this place. And there's even a scene right near the end, a part of this last 15 minutes, that made me think of like The Last of Us, when you're trying to get through zombies and not let them know that you're there or that you're not one of them. And just to let you know, like he finds in her stuff, she had like climbing equipment and things like a grappling hook and ropes. So she was, even though he was kind of making up the story as he went along, he realized that that's how she was getting around. And so at the end, he does, at the last second, get onto another roof, where he then sees that from where he's at, from the jumping point that he made, he can now get around the city pretty easily from rooftops. And so he's kind of saved, but kind of, you know, kind of not. But he does get to live to see another day and take another chance at life and trying to find something else out there. And that's the end of the movie. We get nothing else. And that's kind of a nice little beautiful thing, because we don't always need to know what's after. Just know that there's a little bit of hope for this person. Would I personally like to see more of it? I would have definitely liked to have seen this movie go on for at least another half an hour. I could have handled this. It was only an hour and a half long. I could have handled this being a 2-hour movie if they was going to give us some more. But I just think that it's a nice little unique zombie story. So if you're sick and tired of the same old thing, this does give you a little bit of something different, and it is pretty intense at times, and I loved it. I really, really did. It was a perfect movie to watch right now. And yeah, that's it. I highly recommend you checking this out if you have the opportunity. So that's The Night Eats the World. It's actually a really cool title too. So anyway, if you like this review, please hit the like button, comment, share, subscribe, all that jazz. Thanks again for everybody for helping me get past 500 subscribers. I hope you guys enjoy this video. And that's it. So Rob the Smirking Gun Review saying have a great night, and we will see you on the next video. Bye.